was some concerning reporting over the weekend from the London Times, as you pointed out, that UN globalist staffers were basically plotting to set up the president of the United States. And first it was the escalator, then it was the teleprompter, and then Katie Pavlich from Town Hall, who we offered a seat in the press pool to cover the president's historic speech today, noticed that the audio inside of the room was much lower and different for the president of the United States than the previous speaker. So when you put all of this together, it doesn't look like a coincidence to me.
Just kill me. Just kill me. Please. What is this? What is this, you guys? Please stop embarrassing us. Please stop embarrassing us. We are still, days later, talking about how there's this big conspiracy against Donald Trump at the UN General Assembly because the escalator happened to malfunction.
Okay, so
please stop, please.
Look, on the teleprompter, etc., that could be annoying, that could hurt his speech, but that's why you have the notes in front of you. And overall, if they were annoyed by a bunch of things in a row, the audio, the teleprompter, the escalator, and you make note of it and you go, isn't that funny that they did that? And that's annoying, and look at how they're against me or whatever. And then we all move on, that's fine. You score your political points and we move on. But now here we are, many days later, and the brother's still complaining about having to walk up a flight of stairs.
It's crazy.
Like that's what we're supposed to cry about? So there's that annoying meme on online, like you'll say like, oh, Israel killed 20,000 Palestinian kids. And the pro-Israeli people will be like, cry harder. Yeah, we murdered the kids, cry harder, right? I loathe it, right? But in this case, oh, you had to walk up a flight of stairs. Cry harder, brother, come on.
I heard
that's the big global conspiracy against you? The conspiracy to make you walk?
I heard a statement from Trump yesterday about how, we're lucky that the first lady is in such great shape, because if she wasn't, she would have fallen on these like spiky steel escalator steps.
Yeah, he made it seem like both him and her, they were about to die if they fell on the escalator. And there's like barbed wires or something. By the way, to the guy who brags about alligator Alcatraz, right? The alligators are gonna eat him. Oh my God, I had to walk up a flight of stairs. I hope you're all right, dog.
What? Can you think about, I want everyone, every single one of you, to just stop and think about all the little minor things that go wrong in any given day. Like today, gnats, there's gnats, these little gnats in this freaking studio. In my coffee, they went in my coffee, I can't drink my coffee. So can you imagine?
Global conspiracy.
There needs to be an investigation into TYT. I think Edwin Umania, sabotage. That's what he's doing. He doesn't want me to be caffeinated, appropriately caffeinated for the show, sabotage. That's what that is.
Poor Edwin just got thrown under the bus. Okay, so really guys, an investigation into having to walk up a flight of stairs.
Please stop embarrassing
Investigation.
us. Please stop. Okay, so in a long-winded rant on Truth Social yesterday, Trump wrote the following. I just want the international community to know that even though he was elected as president of the United States, he is not necessarily reflective of all Americans. Okay, just get that out of the way. In a long-winded rant on Truth Social, he wrote, a real disgrace took place at the United Nations yesterday. Not one, not two, but three very sinister events.
Sinister.
First, the escalator going up to the main speaking floor came to a screeching halt. It stopped on a dime. It's amazing that Melania and I didn't fall forward onto the sharp edges of these steel steps, face first.
Amazing.
It was only that we were each holding the handrail tightly, or it would have been a disaster.
A disaster.
This was absolutely sabotage. As noted by a days earlier post in the London Times that said UN workers joked about turning off an escalator. The people that did it should be
arrested. The people who made the president walk up a flight of stairs need to be investigated and arrested.
Okay, Trump is, if this were true, if it is in fact the case that UN workers were joking around about sabotaging Trump and the First Lady by just halting the escalator the second they want to step on it. They are Does Trump know that he is feeding into exactly what those individuals would want by humiliating himself on this like multi-day tirade against the UN?
No, he does not know that. Look, guys, I don't think that it's impossible that somebody was messing with him, right? I mean, again, if I was in his role, I would say, big tall glass of so what? Let's move on with our lives. Are we going to invade Venezuela or are we not? Right? Are we going to let Israel slaughter more people and rob the American people and give it to Israel or not? Right? Like, there's giant issues at hand. Are you going to do anything about any of the promises that you made? You said you'd cut defense, you didn't, right? You said you'd look out for the average man, you didn't. Instead, we're spending all of our time worried about, oh, is he okay? You had to walk up a flight. Oh,
it gets better though.
Jesus, man, how much are you gonna cry, little baby?
It gets better. It gets better.
It's not working. Look at them.
Yeah,
could have been a disaster still.
So let me just remind you all, as this administration is taking out loans that American taxpayers are going to be responsible for in order to help Israel fund its atrocities in Gaza and elsewhere in the Middle East. That's not a problem. That's not something that's leading to actual physical harm of innocent people. But Laura Loomer has referred to the video that you just watched as part of a globalist assassination attempt.
But that's weirdly telling on yourself. They're like, the president, our leader is so weak that if he has to walk up a flight of stairs, he might die.
Global assassination attempt.
And they said that Biden was couldn't serve a full 4 years. By the way, they were right. Okay, and then he was not physically capable of the job. They were right. Okay, but Trump, they're like, oh my God, if he has to walk up a flight of stairs, he's gonna die. We love finding folks who are good fits for us, right?
I love good fits.
When you're sleeping, you definitely need a good fit. So I don't get enough sleep during the weekdays, but because of Lisa Mattress, at least on Saturdays, I'm getting some great sleep, and I'm waking up in the morning thinking, got this, I got this. So I love that they have free shipping. I love that they have easy returns. That's super critical for me. 100-day trial. What else do you want?
You got to get that trial.
And they've given away 42,000 mattresses. We love companies trying to do good in the world. So they're good guys and they've got great mattresses.
They're philanthropists.
You can't lose with this. So that's why we picked them, and we hope you do too.
Go to lisa.com for 25% off, plus get an extra $50 off with promo code TYT exclusive to our viewers. That's LEESA.com, promo code TYT for 25% off, plus an extra $50 off. But be sure to enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. Lisa.com, promo code TYT.
Well, aren't you just admitting that he's as bad a physical shape as Joe Biden?
You know that Trump recently mentioned, first of all, during his UN General Assembly address, his speech, of course, he mentioned how much he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize again, which is like, I can't believe how embarrassing that is. But okay, put that aside. Earlier, he had also given himself credit for brokering a peace deal between Armenia and Cambodia.
That's, Biden 101, right? Right?
Yeah,
I'm not like, that's bad, guys.
That's really bad.
Cambodia, what does Cambodia and Armenia have anything to do with
They like each other, from what I know. Or indifferent, I don't know, but.
I think the Armenia-Cambodia war would be the most difficult war to execute. Like, they're both Cambodia and Armenia is like, I really have no idea how to hit them. Like, they're halfway across, they're not halfway, they're completely across the world. How do we get to them? But the good news is in that war, literally no one might die. Unless they had to walk up a flight of stairs.
Okay, so look, I want to be as fair as possible, as always, right? So there has been some reporting that there were some UN workers who were overheard joking about Trump. Okay, so this is from the Sunday Times. They reported that figures inside the UN had been overheard joking about stunts they could pull to highlight its funding shortfall because the Trump administration was withholding cash. One joke doing the rounds was that they could turn the escalators off and lifts and simply tell Trump they had run out of money. Okay. So like, okay, there are things that people will do to you throughout your life, little things that are meant to bait you, that are meant to trigger you, if you will. I had a tampon thrown at me during a debate about Israel, and I had two options: either get triggered and lose my mind over it, or laugh about the fact that a grown man was walking around with a tampon in his pocket so he could engage in a stunt using a prop in a debate that he knew he was gonna lose. So I didn't take the bait.
Damn.
Okay, here's an example with people I actually love. Went to Disney World with family members and friends. And I had to go to the bathroom, went to the bathroom, came back out of the bathroom, everyone was gone. They wanted me to freak out about being abandoned. You know what I did? I knew they were playing a trick on me. I sat down on some steps and patiently waited until they emerged, and they did. Like, don't feed into you being pranked and make yourself look like more of a clown. You get what I'm saying?
Anna, it sounds like they were trying to assassinate you. Once my friends would go whitewater rafting, we got out of the boat and we were messing with each other. Every time somebody got out of the boat for whatever reason, we wouldn't let them back in for like a long time. And sometimes a little bit treacherous. There's rocks in there, and you got to try to either walk or float over there or whatever. Don't walk, float over there. All assassination attempts.
All assassination attempts.
Okay, that was like, by the way, it's way more dangerous than walking up a flight of stairs. You guys are like, look, guys. As I said earlier in this segment, if I'm at the UN, I would look into it. Because I'd be like, don't do that. That's the American president. Are you crazy, right? And if I found that someone did that on purpose, I'd definitely fire them, right? But I wouldn't arrest them, and it's not an assassination attempt, and I wouldn't make it into a global conspiracy like thing. And all it does is it damages Trump because he looks so frail and weak. And after all this time, he's still complaining about it?
You know what people love? People love when you have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
So like laughing it off and not making a big deal about it is the best option in this scenario. If there's any actual evidence or indication that this was all done intentionally. Now there have been some statements, including one from Farhan Aziz Haq, the UN spokesperson, who said that these were genuine mishaps, no one did this intentionally. Regarding the teleprompter, we have no comment since we don't operate the teleprompter. The interpretation audio was heard when a non-official interpreter pressed the wrong button, which briefly allowed a non-UN interpreter to be heard. Regarding the escalator, the safety mechanism was inadvertently triggered by someone who was ahead of the president on the escalator. The escalator was immediately reset and is in operation, besides which there was also another escalator right next to it that was operating and moving perfectly fine. It's okay to walk up steps, it's not the end of the world. And I hope I'm done with this story. Like, I don't really want to give you more details because it's such a ridiculous story to give you more details on, but who knows, maybe it'll go into next week.
Yeah, they'll start national, you know what?
There was an Al-Qaeda terrorist at the UN General Assembly that our Secretary of State warmly embraced. I think that's a bigger freaking issue.
No, Anna, this escalator gate deserves a special prosecutor. Okay, although I do have an idea for how to solve it. Next time we can get Trump one of those, those little chairs you sit on to go up the stairs that they used to advertise in the old days for.
They still advertise them.
Yeah, no, they do. Okay, well, Trump, there you go. Maybe you can put one in the White House so you don't nearly die every time you have to go up a flight of stairs.
You got to retire into like a ranch style home. 2-story home for elderly people, not a good idea. That's just a general statement.
I mean, if you buy a 2-story home and you're as elderly and frail as Trump, apparently you're trying to assassinate yourself. Okay, or just walk up the damn stairs and stop crying.
Yeah, agreed.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.